Hey there everybody, Joe here. Thanks for watching my video again. So I want to share with you a tool that I've been using lately in my pursuit of better drawing painting skills. So my brother Ben is making a really cool short film, and in this short film there are two very important characters, Jonas and Riley, and this is a sketch that I did for one of the scenes that will be in his short film. So I need to capture the emotion on his face, and I need to give people a visual of the story that doesn't have any picture associated with it yet. So this is the only visual that a person has when they're hearing this story. They need to have personality and expression and look like real people. So my job is to give that impression. This is a face that I would draw. Let's put two eyes. There is a common location. Eyes are at the center. You can get this from a million different resources outside of my videos. Eyes are near the center of a head. The nose is near the center between the eyes and the mouth, and each eye is near the center horizontally. You can learn these by just looking at face diagrams. People have all different breakdowns of how to divide this up. And so I studied as many of those as I could, and I just got good at drawing what I consider to be my ordinary face, so that when I want to develop something other than this, all I have to do are move these features around. So now we're going to turn this into Jonas's face. So I decided, all right, since I typically have this narrow forehead on my person, I'm gonna make it a little bit wider. I decided that he's gonna have higher eyebrows, wider forehead, and I'm gonna raise the nose above center, like this. So now we've got Jonas' nose, like this. And I decided all of these things. These were all conscious decisions. Okay, so now I put the forehead out wide, so now I want to take the cheekbones and make those wider. So I could just write these things down on a list. You know, all these features that I decided would be my character's features. I wanted, he's making a sound effect while he's playing with the battle axe, so he's going, so I've got his lips like this, his jaw has to get, his cheeks have to get kind of sucked in while his lips have this puckered look. So the lips have to go up and in, and I have to have that little hole in the middle. So let's try that. The nose can actually get a tiny bit skinnier now because it's the opposite of a smile. If I go like this, my nostrils might go in a tiny bit, and when I smile, when I go like that, this is getting weird with me making weird faces at you. I just established where his features lie in comparison with that generic face that I can draw. And then I just move them the direction they need to move according to the expression that I want to see. And I can get the expression just from looking at my own face. I don't even need it to be his face, because expression is pretty universal. The movement of the parts happens very similarly for everyone, regardless of the shape of those parts. Okay, I'm sure there's exceptions. There always are. Someone's going to leave them in the comments. All right, so let's look at Riley. She's at this moment of internal conflict. She's battling herself in the mirror here, deciding whether or not she's going to take these pills that are in her hand. Again, if I just drew a generic girl face, I would do it about like this. And this is the face that I would be able to draw over and over. For whatever reason, it's just what naturally comes out, and I can rely on it being my middle ground that I compare everything to, for the sake of just having a point of reference and memorizing things. This does not look like my picture of Riley here. So I'm going to show you my decisions that I made about her expression. And that was, I'm going to also make her nose a little, since I went up on Jonas' nose, I'm going to go a tiny bit down on Riley. I was just trying to mix things up. So I'm going to go down, and then I'm gonna not give her a turned up nose where you can see the nose hole. I'm going to give her a turned down nose just slightly. And then the lips, I decided I was going to make those also bigger. She's going to have a natural V shape to her mouth. I want the eyes to be a little bit further apart on her. So just ever so slightly, I'm going to move these eyes further apart because I decided it was just a little bit. Okay, so this is Riley. And then I needed to put that in a different expression. So once I have that established, I need her to look a little bit more disgusted because she doesn't like this part of herself that she's seeing. And so a disgusted look is raised nostrils, like, ugh. So I got to raise the nostrils and I'm going to open the mouth a little bit. So I don't need to do anything to the jaw here. I just raise this mouth up like this. Let's open it up just a little bit. Now I'm going to take the nostrils and scoot those up ever so slightly. The location of these little lines really has a dramatic effect. So you might, if you try this, you might play with those a little bit. Bring the eyebrows in a little bit. That slight upturn really changed the expression here that I have. You can see, that slight upturn on her brow there. Again, my generic face, and then I just switched around the features both to get the lightness and then to get the expression. So next, we're going to go over here and see a much more relaxed look as she wins the battle this time with herself and decides that she's not going to escape reality and is just embracing Jonas here as he gazes up at the stars, asking questions about God and life, and you're just holding him closely and cherishing the moment. So I needed a much more peaceful expression on her face, closer to blank, really, closer to a blank expression. So all of the movements just have to be subtle. So I just shifted her eyes a little bit upward, a little bit dreamy if I make the eyes not looking straight at me, but just kind of looking out. And then honestly, I just moved the eyebrows around until I liked the way they looked, because I didn't know exactly how to get that. I feel like this expression is more about the body language than it is about the exact movement of the eyebrows. It's a very relaxed look on the face other than the direction of the eyes. But then the body language does so much. The way the head is resting and the direction of the head in comparison with the eyes, I think really helped with that. So to change this back here, let's see if we can just change this back to blank. And then we'll lower the nostrils. Again, let's take those down just a little bit. Then I just am careful not to bend the brows down in any way so that the face just looks very relaxed. Then Jonas, I've got him from the side, and so it's the exact same thing. I'm drawing Jonas from the side, and I want his expression to be concerned. He's got those tense eyebrows again, but again, I don't need to redraw this profile. I just learned to draw the same generic face as a profile and then moved the nose and mouth according to the decisions that I made. Exactly the same process as doing the front angle. So this scene here is Riley and Jonas in the car, and they've just had a rough time. He's done a visit to the hospital. His health is not good, and we start to see a little bit into the complexity of their relationship and the struggles they're facing. And he's emotionally unavailable right now. And the point of this was just showing the back of their heads to create a sense of distance. He's got his head leaned on the window. He's not being very responsive to her hand on his. So I really focused on the hands in this picture, just trying to get the position just right, because hands are so expressive. And they just change everything. The way a person, I'm sure you have your own opinions of the way I talk with my hands, but it just contributes so much to the expression of a person, how they're holding their hands. And so I just concentrated on how I was going to position those. His is this way, and the way his wrist is bent maybe looks like it's relaxed but not responding, trying to reach for hers at all, while hers is clearly reaching over. I am just always amazed at how sensitive we are to any suggestion, any little hint of a face. We just pick it up like that. It's amazing to me. So this tiny little profile, the soft curve for the forehead, a little nose, lips, That also can be established as the generic face that's not extreme in any direction. It's just middle ground, average. And then once you draw that, you can do the exact same thing. You can take the nose and slightly bump it up, slightly bump it down, move things left to right. Even the eyebrow, which is really just this tiny little horizontal line on the edge, even that can go left and right by just tiny little millimeters and change the look of this face. Here, I needed a natural looking smile on both of my characters and a smile at these different angles. So this is where I really felt like I was getting in the flow with my drawing. As I've got her smiling, I've got him smiling at different angles. I was like, all right, this is working. But I felt like I did a better job with the length of the arms on these and getting the body language to look natural. I've got her fingers dangling in such a way that looks like she's not just filled with energy right now, maybe just the opposite. And maybe raising her hand up in front of her mouth as she starts to laugh a little bit at him playing with his food as he's finally coming back to normal and once again, bringing her some happiness with his lightheartedness about life. So it's this kind of beautiful moment, seeing what holds their relationship together. So if I wanted to put a smile, on either of these characters, it's just learning to do the blank generic face and then knowing which direction to move all of the parts. First for personality, then for expression. So I'm going to do it, since I've got Riley's face drawn here, I'm just going to make her smile, raise the nose up and out. Nostrils need to come out a little bit further than they were and be a little bit higher. So we're going to go like this. It's the relationship of the mouth with the jaw that really makes a smile look natural. So I'll widen the mouth and bring it up. She has a natural V to her blank face, so I'm going to make her top lip look like the same lip but smiling. The cheek raises up and pulls the mouth with it and pulls the nose out to get that smile. Final thought that I want to leave you with is how far from mastering this I am, first of all, but just how extremely helpful it continues to be for me, not just in people, but in everything I see, being well in tune with my nature to establish a running average of what I see. And all other things are compared with that. And so if I'm in tune with that and I can get good at drawing or painting from memory what I feel is the norm or the average, then it makes it much easier on me mentally to reproduce my work and the looks that I'm trying to achieve. I hope you'll consider going to my brother Ben's Kickstarter page and giving him some support. He is so talented. We have a very artistic family. As you can see, I've been blessed. I really want to see this creation that Ben is working on come to life as well, because he just, something he's very good at is appreciating the complexity of people and putting a spotlight on that without telling you what to think about it. I just really like that. I feel like a great piece of art shows you something without telling you how you have to feel about it, but does a good job of just shining a light on that. And that's what this short film he's working on is going to do. It's just going to shine a light on this beautiful thing. It would mean a lot to me if you can take a look at that page and give him some support. Also, subscribe to the Mural Joe channel if you want to give me the honor of showing off for you in the future. I always appreciate that very much as well. And I'll see you next time.